Hey, what is up everybody? It is Harrison Barron, and I want to talk to you guys today about how to finance your business. So the biggest question I keep getting asked lately is, how do you finance a business? How do you even find financing for a business? And why is financing so important for your business and to help it move forward? So in this video, I'm going to answer all those questions right now. The most simple answer out there is simply to go fund yourself. Not the other F yourself. The go fund yourself. When you go fund yourself, it's using your own capital, your own money out of your own pocket. There's a lot of risk versus a lot of reward. Typically, when you're getting funding for a company, and this is going to be a broad brush stroke, but if you're going out to somebody else or an angel investor, they either want equity in the company or they want to know that they're going to get paid off in a certain amount of time from that company. So if it's a 10-year, 20-year, or they say, hey, I want 25, 50, or 75% of the company, it's not unheard of for those investors to say, hey, I want this exorbitant amount of money from that company because I'm putting up all of the capital. So in my opinion, and what I've done in the past is funding yourself. So taking whatever money you have in your pocket or your bank account and utilizing that to grow your business. There is a catch to it though. Not everybody has a crazy big pocket full of money walking around, and sometimes businesses just take money to get off the floor, and you might not have the amount of money required to actually start your business. One thing I love about people that sell either little products or non-tangible products and things like that, they don't need to have that kind of money in their pocket. So if you're a salesperson or something like that, you never have to worry about funding yourself unless you're doing real estate sales where the money is actually coming out of your pocket to help fund whatever you're doing, if it's a flyer or anything else like that. This is super, super important because a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot that actually goes into business funding, and when you fund yourself, you get to keep 100% of it, but it does take a lot longer. To grow in business, you do need money. Money hires people, money hires ads, money hires all of these different things that ultimately you need to get to the next level. That's why a lot of people have these investors, or that's why there's these VC companies out there, venture capitalist companies, that'll go out and give you money, but for a percentage of your company or with a return on investment that is acceptable by them for giving you that kind of money. That's the catch-22 with going out and getting outside investors. Personally, I love funding yourself. It's the best thing to do if you can. Not everybody's going to be able to, and don't put yourself in a financial risk when you're funding yourself that's going to collapse later on. For example, don't take out a second mortgage on your house to fund your business unless you are 100% sure, and nobody could be 100% sure, that your business idea is going to work and your significant other is 100% backing you. That is the only time you should self-fund your business and possibly look for a internal way of getting money. That's, borrowing from your Roth IRA, borrowing from a 401k, that's definitely possible. And then ultimately, getting a mortgage on a house, which I really do not recommend, but I have heard of people doing it. I actually know somebody that has done this. Number two, which is probably the safest, but a little trickier, is go for a small business grant or small business loan. So a grant is government money that they're gonna give you to help you start your business. If you're in a niche industry, the government wants to promote small business growth. They're going to give you some kind of money to start, because they think that you're going to produce XYZ object, and that XYZ object is ultimately going to help the economy. Number two, a small business loan or an SBA loan. An SBA loan is a small business administration loan. When you get one of those, they're going to give you money because you're a small business. So great examples, M&T Bank, and this is not sponsored by M&T Bank, does a really, really good job at helping small businesses get the financing they need. Typically, businesses want to see something in return. They want to see a game plan. They want to see a business plan. They want to know that you have a path to success, and they want to see what you're going to do to ultimately get to that success. Otherwise, they're not going to give you any money. The other catch with a small business loan is a lot of banks require a certain amount of time in business. This is what I did personally. I started self-funding. I had a business, I had a computer, I had a ton of knowledge. I knew that I could produce a non-tangible product that wouldn't cost me much money out of pocket to perform. From there, then I went to M&T Bank, and that's why I'm saying M&T Bank, and got money from them. That money then goes into my pocket to help me grow. Growing from there allows me to not have to go contact an investor, not give up shares in my company, but ultimately get that kind of money with a low interest rate in return that I could pay off over time, that's going to get me to that next step in my business. That's super important. There is always a catch though. You're now dealing with a bank. You have to make those payments. There's all of these different things that go on, but ultimately the concept still stays the same. In order to grow, you need money. Number three, if you're a totally new business, you're selling a good or product that is absolutely applicable or able to be sold to anybody out there, and this is the catch, in my opinion, it should be sold to anybody out there, crowdfunding is a great idea. And the reason why is People could support your product. So if you came out with acoustic paneling, for example, and it was the best acoustic paneling on the market, you could easily bring that to Kickstarter or Indiegogo and say, hey, I have the best stuff out there, come fund my project. They're either going to say yay or nay, and in return, those people expect something that nobody else can get. Either that's the first product, that's an early test, or that's an early giveaway, or anything like that that they're going to be able to get that makes them or makes their pledge worth it. Maybe they get it at a discounted rate for supporting it. It doesn't matter, but that is a great way to get things on the market. Once again, there's always a catch, and doing this the wrong way could really ruin your business once you launch. There are literally Kickstarter companies out there, companies that just launch on Kickstarter time and time again that don't even sell their products anywhere else but Kickstarter, and you have to wait. Is it the worst concept in the world? To each his own. But that's something you have to think about when you're going into one of these. The pros and cons of getting Kickstarter funding. The nice part is, though, is you have to, or you should ethically, produce some kind of product for somebody that they get for giving you money to start your business. That's the catch. And you have to have a lot of stuff figured out ahead of time, because if you don't, ultimately you're gonna fail. And last but not least, number 4, back to that equity topic that we were talking about. If it's VC, if it's a private investor, anything like that, they're going to want something for their money. So for example, if you run a pretty successful business, or you plan on running a pretty successful business, but you need money to start, you go to a VC guy, they might say, hey, I want 50% of that business. I'm giving you $50,000 or $100,000 or $500,000 to start that. What do I get in return? Well, I get 50% of the product. And if the business fails, I get whatever we bought. So if it's computers, if it's assets, anything like that, we get to keep it, because that's one way for us to recoup some of the money that we've lost. But being a VC, they also understand the risk of going into a startup and saying, hey, here's some money. They understand that it could absolutely be lost. Something you have to be very aware of. If you don't keep track of that, you could potentially lose your shirt in the company. A prime example of this is Shark Tank. Everybody's probably heard of the show by now. It's all over the world. But Shark Tank, they trade equity for money or expertise in those areas. So if it's $15,000 for 15% of the company, or if it's $50,000 for 50% of the company, whatever number it is, it's not always going to correlate like that, but whatever number it is, you have to remember that you're giving away that portion of the company for either a service or for equity in the business. Ultimately, in the long term, it's not going to crush your business. Having private money is always a good thing for certain companies, but it's something you need to be aware of. Those are the 4 main ways that you can get your business funded. Hopefully this video helps you guys figure out at least what way is good for your business or the business that you want to start. Like I said, if you need a lot of money starting out, it's probably not the worst idea to go to a VC company. If you could build a business plan, and I mean line by line by line, on how you're going to do it, you might be able to get an SBA or just a small business loan or something like that. When you do that, it might make your life a little easier. The beautiful part about self-funding is it's all yours. But there is a catch. You're never accountable for anything. So if you don't produce, you don't get. It's that simple, guys. You gotta remember that. I hope this video helped you guys pick out what kind of funding you might need, or at least different ways that businesses can get funded. A lot of people keep asking me that question. I really hope this video covers everything in that, so that way you guys walk away with this at least with an idea of where to start. I'm Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and thank you guys so much for taking time out of this video. First, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that little bell, lets you know when I release a new video. Number 2, and I really need you guys to pull through on this one, down below, leave a comment and leave a like. Let me know what kind of financing you're looking for in your business, or at least if you have any questions, please ask them there, what you found valuable in this video. I really try to make these videos to be beneficial to you guys, and when you guys take the time to do that, it helps give me a better idea of what kind of content to make. Hugely appreciate it, guys, and in just a moment, you're gonna see 2 videos right up here, as always, of one that YouTube suggests and the other one that I suggest going in the list. On 3, 2, 1.